JLU SCX24 Jeep. This one I did a little differently. Typically I just change parts and add stuff as I go along. This one I didn't even drive. I started ordering parts that have worked for me in the past. Took it apart. Weights, links, servo motor. I have a RampCrab servo. INJORA adjustable steering links in the front. On the axles, I changed the shafts to 4 millimeter and CVD in the front. Trimmed the housing to get more steering. I don't remember the name of these. They're fairly heavy diff cover. Changed out the motor to an INJORA, the purple 50 turn motor. And I use a INJORA MB100 ESC. This is the new one. They're half the size of the previous versions. It seems to be a little louder, the truck overall, with the new one. And I don't have quite the slow crawl that I had with the previous version. The jury's still out on it. I mean, it's nice because it's so small. Move the battery up front and move the receiver to the side. I have 11% underdrive gears in the front and 33% underdrive gears in the rear, which is 22% overall overdrive in the front to help pull it up. I installed high clearance links. I ended up flipping the rear bumper mount, to get the bumper up higher, which I ended up having to make my own replacement bumper, but just a lot more clearance in the back. I've raised the body 3/16 of an inch. A little fender trimming in the back and trimmed the fenders in the front. And after I got it all together, drove it, it really wasn't working as well as I had hoped. I'm not sure why. So I got some weights, little patty weights inside, and heck extensions, but I'm running these are the stamped steel wheels. I'm not running them deep dish, so the overall width isn't too much wider than a normal one. And then I got the Maleonn tires. They're pretty similar to the Swamp Claw INJORAs. I have 2 wraps of lead weight tape on the front wheels and 1 wrap in the back. I'm pretty close to 60/40 weight-wise. I changed out the rear links. I made my own, extended the wheelbase in the back about 3/16 of an inch. Those changes, extending these and adding a little more weight in the front, it's working fairly well now. which I didn't really think that was going to make it much of a difference. I mean, when I initially got this together, didn't really want to climb, kept flipping over, was slipping and sliding. I think I'm at about 430 grams now. But those changes that I made, I didn't think that was really going to affect the performance that much. So I kind of focused on appearance. I painted the top on the outside, which will probably scratch off, but just to make it look more like a Jeep. Added lights in the front. The headlights, although I used TV dinner trays to make some skirts so that you can't see through this. I always thought that looked goofy. But because I had these plastic here, I was able to glue the headlights so they shine through the front instead of adding it to the body. And I changed out the bumper LEDs to amber. And then the same in the back. I had a cut piece of TV dinner tray so looking through here you can't see down to the bottom. And see if this will focus. Probably not. Renamed it to TV dinners. I added rock lights. I got one in the front and one in the back, which I added switching. Let's see if it turned on. There's a switch behind this piece of plastic, a little push button. And then I have one for the headlight and bumper lights, so I can turn all the lights off. I'd like to add tail lights, but I don't want to add it to the body. Moving that rear bumper mount, this thing fully opens, so I'll be making the wire stretch that much. The front, did the front bumper mount flip. What else? Yeah, when I initially put this together, I was a little disappointed that it really wasn't working that well. And then doing all this cosmetic stuff, adding a little bit of weight, stretching out the back. I was really surprised. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to affect the performance, but it really did. Anyway, I'll do a little driving and see how it performs. But see how slow we can go. That's it right there. Of course, we're under load. I really need to sand that section. And there's my cool bumper lights. And I got it all wired, replacing the white ones with the amber ones. When I got it together, they started doing what they're doing, blinking and flashing. I thought I had a bad connection and fiddled around with it, and I finally looked at the package and they were blinking LEDs. So I'm going to call it typical Jeep thing, bad wiring. Yep, needs some sand. I mean, I've been lucky to find, I think I paid $109 for this one. Yeah, I don't buy SCX24s unless I happen to come across a sale. Oops.
Call from Margaret.
Answer call. Hello?
Hi, honey. Whenever you're not busy, could you put my chair down for me, please?
Okie dokie.
Thank you. Alexa, in call.
Well, let me figure out what I did since the initial. I added the gears, the axles, tires, wheels, yada yada. And then added the lights, painted the body. So I'm not sure what changed because it seems to be working. Huh. Puzzling. Anyway. The thing about those wide axles, how much they swing. And move the body pretty hard. I did pull the front tires and shaved a little bit more off the foam and added 2 wraps of lead tape, so maybe that was enough. It was doing a lot of slipping and sliding. Anyway. Well, I just wanted to make a video. I haven't posted anything in a while, and YouTube's kind of funny about that stuff. Oh, I'm very impressed. Yeah, focus.